Do you want a new Mac that doesn't have a lot of the issues that the M1 chip has when it comes to professional work, that is expandable, that is fast, that will get you through all of the work that you need to do, and you don't have to wait until the professional models of the new Macs come out whenever they come out? Well, I've got a Mac for you. Let's talk about the $2,300 27-inch 2020 iMac right now. Friends, behind me, you will see an old looking iMac. And you might be wondering why. Why, Jason? Do you have an old looking iMac? I had purchased the 24-inch brand new M1 iMac. And if you've been around the channel for a while and you know my experience with the M1 chips, the big deal breaker for me with the M1 chips is that just some of my hardware and software don't work with the M1 system just yet. I bought the 24-inch iMac really to try it out, to give you guys my thoughts on it. It is a very impressive computer. It is a computer that 90+% of everybody would be totally satisfied with. It's fast. All the things that people say about M1. If you are a professional, as I've said before, these M1 machines are not yet ready for prime time. I guess if everything that if you use Logic Pro and Final Cut and you don't use any external plugins or anything like that, and everything is contained to the Apple ecosystem itself, I guess you would probably be fine. But for me as a professional, I don't want to be confined to just using a certain sort of ecosystem of stuff until all the bugs get worked out. So I decided it wasn't the right computer for me. As I knew that it wouldn't be, I took it back. I ordered it from Best Buy. So I guess, I was just going to take it back. Now, here's the thing. I had been using PC for about 3 months, and there's nothing, I could have continued to use the PC for quite some time. I was trying out DaVinci Resolve for editing video, and because I don't feel like paying for the Adobe suite anymore. Now that I don't get the education discount, Adobe is expensive, and I just wasn't using enough of it to justify paying for it. But DaVinci Resolve is free and it's cross-compatible, so I was doing that, and I was using PreSonus Studio One for recording audio. Both of those programs are really great programs, and I may still continue to use Studio One as a DAW as into the future. But the truth of the matter is, I was missing Logic, which I have been using since, I want to say 2002 or so. Yeah, I went from Digital Performer to Logic. And I've been using Logic ever since. That's before Apple even bought Logic. It's been a long time. I've been doing this for a long time. So I was missing at least having the option to go to Logic. I had a lot of Logic projects that I couldn't open if I wasn't using them on a Mac. But I was kind of holding out hope as we came into the last Apple event that we would see something, a laptop, another iMac, something that would have the more professional specifications thrown in there, so I would spend my money on that. But I've kind of been in between computers now, going back and forth between PC and M1 Max, and then my MacBook Pro 15, which was, at 2019, but it was not doing good. It was starting to slow down. Maybe I got used to the M1s. I don't know, but I wanted to get something that would be powerful enough to do everything that I need to do video-wise, would allow me to use Logic, would allow me to sort of be able to spread out and do things, would allow me to spec it out as a professional machine. So the 2020 27-inch iMacs come in a couple of different flavors. They have their base model, that's I think $17.99, and then they have one that's $19.99. Those are both i5 Intel processors. And then they have an i7 that's $2,300. I decided after looking at some benchmarks between the M1 chips that are available now and the i7 that's in this with the graphics card that's in this, I think it's a 5500 XT, a Radeon 5500 XT. I decided to go ahead and buy this. I'd like to say thanks to Max Tech. I mean, if you don't watch Max Tech and you're an Apple person, So much great information, saved me from doing so much of this work myself. Their benchmarks show that this machine, in a lot of specifications, was really outperforming the M1s. And so, since we don't know when those more professional M1s were coming, and I wanted to settle into a system that would just be there for me to use, I decided to go ahead and buy this $2,300 model. I got an extra 32 gigs of RAM to put in it, so it has 40 gigs of RAM. It has a 512 gigabyte hard drive. It has an i7, I think, is it the 10,000 series chip? I think it's the 10,000 series chip. I'll put all the specs up on the screen right here. But anyway, it's not going to become a slow dog of a computer anytime soon. Of course, when the new computers come out, when the new M1, N1X, M2, whatever it is that they are, when those new machines come out, I will, of course, grab one so that I can test it out to see how M1 and the operating system have both kind of matured, to see how much stuff has been brought over to the new operating system in terms of the stuff that I use for my daily workflow. And also, I want to just try them out and see how fast they are. I'm still very excited for whatever comes next with the M1s. But what we have right now is just not enough for people like myself. And I know a lot of you would be out there, oh, you can do whatever. I have a lot of money invested in plugins. I have a lot of money invested in hardware. I have a lot of money invested in my professional setup. And if stuff isn't going to work and I have to sort of find ways to do that work until that stuff gets updated, then it doesn't really make sense, because then I'm spending good money, bad money after good, good money after bad. I'm just spending more than I should just so I can have a new computer. So this 27-inch iMac, the 2020 iMac, if you're looking for a machine that will do everything that you need it to do, that will outperform the M1s in a lot of tasks, especially more heavy lifting tasks, and you need a computer right now, or you don't want to wait until whenever those more powerful computers show up, and I really recommend checking out this $2,300 iMac. It has the ability to expand the memory. You can get it right off the shelf with a 512 gigabyte hard drive. I personally have a 16 terabyte hard drive attached to it that is both Time Machine and like storage, as well as a few other smaller hard drives with projects on them. So it's the perfect sort of hub for me to do everything that I need to do. And it will hold me over, and probably more than hold me over, into the future, no matter what happens with the M1, the M series architecture going forward for the next six months to a year. I've been using it for a few weeks now. Very happy with it. It is still fast. It is still doing everything that I needed to do. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It just kind of goes. And I have really enjoyed using it. And as a plus, it came with Mac OS Catalina installed, which was nice because a lot of my software doesn't like Big Sur yet either. And that's another thing that I was having trouble with on my MacBook Pro. I had upgraded to Big Sur. I didn't necessarily want to downgrade to Catalina again, because that's a whole thing. So it has Catalina, super fast, expandable, and all the ports that you need. It has 4 USB-A ports, as well as 2 Thunderbolt ports, as well as the SD card reader. So those things are all good things to have that are not going to be on these new machines, as far as I can tell. Like I say, if you're looking for something to hold you over or to get you through the next few years or the next 10 years or whatever, this is definitely a machine worth checking out. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below, and let me know what questions you might have versus using this old machine versus these new machines, etc., etc. We'll have a boisterous discussion. Once again, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the GTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest it hurts. Until the next time, I am out.